Mr. McManus' speech was seen live by 100,000 people, and the joint effort of this rally will reverberate for some time in helping revive the forces united to preserve the Constitution.
All we must find and build and use to win is sufficient understanding.
At our 50th anniversary celebration, many leaders from other organizations and movements helped us celebrate many years of success. The celebration was sold out, with more than 40 speakers and 70 events held over a 3-day span.
So I'm real happy to be here. And I just want to say happy 50th anniversary to the John Birch Society. Yeah.
Even though I haven't been affiliated with the organization for a long time, I am convinced that the agenda of those who hate America would be much further along than it is had it not been for the efforts of many dedicated Birch Society members over time.
My talk is Fixing Illegal Immigration. My name is Sam Antonio. I'm a coordinator with the John Birch Society in Southern California. I'm also the national spokesman in immigration for the organization. I am a son of immigrants, legal immigrants to this country.
The John Birch Society is testimony to his idea of organization. This is a unique organization, as you all well know.
It's amazing with all the challenges that the organization has gone through. It seemed to have gotten stronger instead of getting weaker. So it does says a lot about the organization. I'm proud to be a member of the John Birch Society. I've been a member now for the last 12 years.
We live in a world today where there are people who hate you because you're a Jew or a Christian.
For 2,000 years, marriage meant what it always meant, a man and a woman. Now all of a sudden, 2 men or 2 women. Next year, it'll be 2 men, 5 women, and throw in a couple dogs for good measure.
Basically, I'm just an old hippie who got saved about 27 years ago.
Most people, when you mention working with the legislature, they think, oh, you know, it's intimidating, I don't want to do this, I don't know how, and I'm afraid. And so I want to tell you right now that I'm just me, a common housewife, okay, got involved in this organization seriously about 15, 16 years ago. And if you had told me then that I would be standing here, I wouldn't have believed it.
What I'm going to do is give you some solutions of what the immigration crisis is all about, but also give you a bigger picture of what this whole issue is all about, because immigration is actually a smaller part of a bigger problem, and I will get into that.
When I tell Black Americans that I'm a member of the John Birch Society, their reaction, I don't know which one is worse, to be a Black Republican conservative or a member of the John Birch Society.
And the John Birch Society is the organization that believes in liberty and freedom and justice and equality for all.
I am honored, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I am honored to be here with you tonight, to be a part of this gathering, and to be a part of this group is a highlight for my life. I just cannot tell you how delighted I am to be invited to this wonderful assembly. Thank you, Art. Thank you, Jack, so much for allowing me to come and be a part of this gathering. I cannot think of an organization that has been more faithful to the principles of constitutional government as has the John Birch Society. And because of that steadfastness, I cannot think of an organization that has been more maligned than has the John Birch Society. And yet your influence and your work grows day by day, month by month, year by year.
The final event was carried live over internet radio and our website to a potential audience of tens of thousands.
Thank you very much. John, thank you for that very nice introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, special guests, it's a delight to be here. It's a delight to be here because I got an applause. In Washington, I don't get applauses like that. but it is real nice to be here. And I am delighted to help celebrate this birthday because I consider it very important, or I wouldn't be here.
A part of that plan, of course, is to induce the gradual surrender of American sovereignty, piece by piece and step by step, to various international organizations, of which the United Nations is the outstanding but far from the only example. Now, here are the aims for the United States. 1, greatly expanded government spending for every conceivable means of getting rid of ever larger sums of American money as wastefully as possible. 2, higher and then much higher taxes. 3, an increasingly unbalanced budget despite the higher taxes. 4, wild inflation of our currency. 5, government controls of prices, wages, and materials, supposedly to combat inflation. 6, greatly increased socialistic controls over every operation of our economy and every activity of our daily lives. This is to be accompanied naturally and automatically by a correspondingly huge increase in the size of our bureaucracy and in both the cost and reach of our domestic government. 7, far more centralization of power in Washington and the practical elimination of our state lines. There is a many-faceted drive at work to have our state lines eventually mean no more within the nation than our county lines do now within the states. 8, the steady advance of federal aid to and control over our educational system, leading to complete federalization of our public education. 9, a constant hammering into the American consciousness of the horror of modern warfare, the beauties and the absolute necessity of peace, peace always on communist terms, of course. And 10, the consequent willingness of the American people to allow the steps of appeasement by our government which amount to a piecemeal surrender of the rest of the free world and of the United States itself. So brush the insider's dust out of your eyes, my friends, and the communist soap suds out of your brain.